folks, today's a good day to make some pulled pork. I've made pulled pork a few times on this channel. I've smoked it, I've slow cooked it, I've made it in the oven, but you know what? I've never made it in a pressure cooker, an Instant Pot. So that's how I'm going to try to make it today. I think it's going to turn out pretty good. Let's make some pulled pork. To make pulled pork, we need, guess what? We need pork. This is a pork butt, a little over 7 pounds. This pork butt happens to have a bone in it. So let's start by cutting this into big chunks. Looking for chunks about this size. I don't have to be real careful around the bone. We're going to cook this with the bone in it. If there's a gigantic piece of fat on there, go ahead and cut that off. We don't need that in there. This is what we're left with, the section with the bone. This is an okay size, maybe a little bigger than I like, but there's quite a big bone in here. There's a bit of meat on here, but that's going to pull right off of here after we get done cooking in the pressure cooker. We're going to take all these pork pieces now and coat them with a pork rub. If you'd like, go ahead and make your own rub. But I found this rub from PS Seasoning called the Notorious PIG rub. It's a great pulled pork seasoning. So I am going to use this rub for this pulled pork. Just try to coat all the sides. You don't have to go really heavy because we're going to be putting this rub on all of these sides of this cut up pork, so there's going to be plenty of rub. Some people really like to season their pork butts a lot before smoking them or turning them into pulled pork. I kind of go the opposite direction. I found this rub is really flavorful. It's got a little bit of a smoky flavor. It's not spicy at all. It's not overly sweet. And it's not overly salty either. There we go, all seasoned up. I am going to let this rest in the refrigerator overnight. If you want, you could put it on right before you cook it, but you know, I like to have that seasoning soak in there for a while, so at least a few hours ahead of time, put the seasoning on. I'm going to leave it on all night long. It is now the next morning. The pork butt has been marinating with that rub on it all night long. Now what we're going to do is sear this meat to get a nice flavor going. I'm going to get this InstantPot nice and hot. We're going to throw these chunks of meat in there and get a nice sear going to build up those flavors. Here's the saute button. Press that. We're going to saute on high and press start. That's going to get up to temperature. Once it gets up there, I'm going to throw some oil in there, actually some beef tallow, because my brother Mark says beef tallow is the way to go. And then we're going to start searing this meat. Start by adding some of our beef tallow. Now we're going to put the pork butt in. I'm going to attempt to brown all the sides of these different chunks of pork butt. We don't want to overcrowd this, so we're probably going to do this in 2 or 3 batches. That's looking good. Now I'm just going to turn it on its other side. We're not cooking this all the way through. We're just trying to do a little sear on it, brown it up a bit. I'm not going to make you watch me brown all this meat. It's kind of repetitive. I have another couple batches to do, and we'll come back after this is all browned. While that meat continues to brown, I have some chicken stock here that we are going to use to deglaze that pan. To this chicken stock, I'm going to add a little bit of liquid smoke. Totally optional. I like to have a little smoke flavor in my pulled pork. Just a small amount, a teaspoon here. I've seen other recipes putting a couple teaspoons in. I just like a hint of smoke in my pulled pork. And the rub I used has a little smoke flavor in it as well. This is the last of it. It's all browned up. It's all browned up nicely, didn't overdo it. It's gonna cook a bit in this Instapot. Before that fills the house too much up with smoke, I'm going to deglaze the bottom of that pan with some of this chicken stock. Scrape the bottom a bit to make sure all that fond is loosened up. It's going to add a really nice flavor. Well, I guess my smoke alarm is going off. I got to take care of this. 1 second. Okay, took care of that. I kind of knew that was going to happen. I saw a lot of smoke coming out of the bottom of this pan. What we are going to do now is return these chunks of pork to the Instapot. So it's a little over 7 pounds of pulled pork. There we go. It's all loaded up. Now put the cover on. I'm going to press pressure cook. We're on a custom setting there. We're going to make sure it's on high. And we are going to do 1 hour. 1 hour on high. All we need to do is press start and we're off to the races. Thinking we're very close now. And there we go. Okay, we're up to pressure. The 1 hour countdown has begun. So we'll check back later as soon as this has cooled off enough to take off the top. And just like that, 2 hours after it started, the pressure has been released and this pulled pork is done. Let's take it out. Oh man, that smells good. We are going to take the meat out and then we're going to de-fat or degrease the liquid. Just as I suspected, it's falling apart a bit. Boy, that meat came off that bone nice and easy. Okay, I have my handy fat separator here. I'm going to be putting all the liquid in here, and this fat separator will separate the fat from the juice. We won't return all of the liquid back to the pulled pork, but some of it, just to moisten it up a bit. As you can see, it's already separating the fat from that usable juice. We'll let this sit a little while we shred the pork. Oh, this falls apart really nice and easily. If there's any big chunks of fat, I'm going to take it out. Like there you go. There's a little bit of fat there that we don't really need in there. Yeah. Another chunk of fat. You're probably wondering why I haven't tasted any of this yet. Me too. I'm going to give this a little try. Oh, that is so good. Wow. That's the right amount of everything. Fresh pulled pork. Now I'm going to add back some of this juice. But none of the fat. That should be plenty. I think it's time for me to try some of this. Wow, that pressure cooker made this so tender. This has got some nice flavor. I love it this way, but hey, let's throw it on a bun, make ourselves a pulled pork sandwich. A good healthy amount of pulled pork. I'm going to bump up the sweetness a little bit with this Kinder's Hickory Brown Sugar Barbecue Sauce. Not too much. And as they like to do in the South, I'm going to throw a little coleslaw on there. This pulled pork sandwich, you know, it only took 2 hours in that Instant Pot to make this delicious pulled pork. Let's try it in a sandwich. That smoky tenderness of the pulled pork, the little bit of sweetness from that barbecue sauce, and the crunch from that coleslaw. Wow, a winning combination. I have to tell you, out of all the different ways of making pulled pork, this is pretty high up there, but not as good as in a smoker, low and slow. That's definitely the best way of making pulled pork. I have a lot of leftover pulled pork, and you know what that means. At least some of you out there know what it means. It means pig cups. If you know, you know, but if you don't know, take a look back in my catalog of videos. You'll find a video called Pig Cups. I show you how to freeze this pulled pork into individual cups and enjoy it for months to come. I really did have a good day today. Hope whatever you guys are doing, you're also having a good day. See you next time.